Hello, everyone. This is Black Sugar Writer, and I wrote a 5-page letter to the World Health Organization, and I'd like to share this with you if you would allow me. I'm not the greatest with the camera and the reading and trying to look at the camera and read, but I'm going to read this letter. It's 5 pages, and the title is Why Have You Not Helped Black People Across the World? You ready? Here we go. Hello, my name is Sequita Brown, and I was born and raised in the United States of America. And I want to get straight down to it. Why hasn't this country ever been sanctioned for physical and mental abuse of black people? I want to say that again. Why hasn't this country been sanctioned by other countries for the physical and mental abuse of black people? If you have been an establishment, why haven't any of you tried to help our health and well-being? Do you not know it is your responsibility to do? For we are people too. Why hasn't anyone from this worldwide emporium saved us from slavery and harsh living, barely eating and not surviving, not like human beings, but like animals? You have the control and the wherewithal to, first, do no harm to the entire world. Why were we never important enough to fight for? I am a mother of three, a grandmother of three, a sister, an aunt, a caregiver. These things that are just as precious to me as everyone else is to theirs. Why were we singled out, left to die? Still, to this day, and no one is standing up, not even our black, newly elected President Joe Biden, all black, newly elected, because we all black elected Joe Biden. How was America getting away with this all this time? The entire world is off alignment, off course. The natural order of things shaken to its core. And no one knows why. I do. Hate and favor have ruined this entire world instead of keeping God's natural order. Keep his commandments and love one another as he has asked us. Why couldn't you help do that? This entire world knew Africans were being used like cattle, branded and beaten. You could have saved so many black lives from murder, beatings, rape, and other atrocities bestowed on just us. The Constitution to this day does not acknowledge us, calling us 3.5% human, and they're getting away with it as we speak. Why? Why didn't you stop them from killing us? Ignoring our civil, humane, God given right, and that the King of heaven and earth gave to each one of us. Why couldn't you all have allowed us to have that right? No one on this earth allowed God's given right to us, his children. What I have learned of African people, and there is nothing to be ashamed of, not to me. They want, and the world wants the continent to die as well. Because America sure wants us dead. I'm 56 years old, have an education, have worked all my life. Yet I cannot afford a home of my own. Could not receive a career job for the very reason that over 90% of black America has nothing. There has been plea after plea after plea for many hundreds of years for civil rights for the less fortunate, and we were brought to this country just to be slaves. You knew that too, didn't you? Why are we still in a crisis in a new day and age? How would you feel watching people coming from all over the world to live in a place you were born and raised in, buy a home, own a business, living that American dream? And you thought you were American too. You are living with dreams and aspirations because your mother and father were not racist, but did not teach how to protect oneself from racism. Why was there a such word as class given the go ahead to demean black people and poor people? I, to this day, cannot get help from my own country for me and my disabled family. They are sleeping on floors with mattresses in the United States of America that their ancestors built, Excuse me. Excuse me. Bear with me. This world has so many names for what's going on. Climate change, diseases coming from this place and that place. When in fact, to me, it's coming straight from the very evil that beset this world. Hate. Hate is what made our country, setting us apart from the rest of the entire world. And we were stolen. We were the only race not invited anywhere on this earth. And no one is doing anything but walking away, telling black people, we gave you reparations when you had your first black president, Senator Mitch McConnell. Knowing they were acting like we were stupid, and all we're supposed to do is keep churning their money through their government programs that held us back and still doing so. How our black men, young and old, even through the COVID, are still holding our black men for life for crimes they did not commit, but yet are having our natural lives taken away doing time and dying in jail from malnutrition and unhealthy circumstances. I sit here in a one-bedroom with 3 disabled people with no room of their own, and I, being 56, cannot call the American Police Department in my own city. I cry out to my city council and still nothing. How is this country expected to last when all the black people of the world are treated so unspeakably horrible? And I mean, no one cares. This country lies in every way at all costs about us, using our own against us, giving money to those who will purposely look the other way. This country preaches such lies as freedom, prosperity, and the American dream for all. All? Not with our black history in this place. Not with our black history in this place. All America has taught other races is to hate a nigger, get a house. Kill a nigger, win a car. We were bought, sold, and traded like cattle, yet still no one is trying to lift one pinky finger to help us. Everywhere in this world where black people are, there is poverty, hunger, dying, someone being in control of our every move. We are being tortured somewhere in this country every day. Black men are hunted like deer, bear, elk, and so many other endangered species. It's like being cornered every day of your life, going from one end of the tight cage to the other. I cannot even breathe, not knowing your own native languages, having it beat out of us, and all we know is English. I was very naive because I was not familiar with the hate of white people until I was called a nigger. Had a job in 1992. I was young and trying to take care of my children. I cannot remember a day in this country that I was not sad, unhappy, crying as though I was born to mourn. I would wake up crying because I had nothing to look forward to, with no money, no good paying career, and 3 babies. This country of mostly every black woman born in the U.S. This is the country of mostly every black woman born in the U.S. because this country made sure everyone else was compensated for just coming here. And here we all are, black and barely making ends meet every day, while businesses would build in our communities and none were black and owned. Still aren't. Trapped by the government system, waiting to die, forced to live a lifestyle designed for a person with my skin color. Other black people that are rich and famous here do not want to help much because they feel that they are the same class as white people. Every race here wanted to be like the white man, having money, things, and more things. This country turned us against each other, our own kind killing each other, and have no money for guns. The system set up so many black men here because they still to this day will not allow them good jobs, proper living space, proper hygiene, a proper life. And this is all over the world. Why does this world not see how alive everything is? How it grows and grows and changes and becomes. It's the power of God. He gave the world a pattern to follow, and this world chose the latter. Knowing how this world has crushed the dreams, the very thought of a certain type of human being is the biggest bullying in the entire history of the world. Purposely holding a body of people back, yet making sure all other life, animal, vegetable, or mineral, are to this day well taken care of, nurtured, focused on, even breathed life back into everything and everyone but the black people around the world. Every known and unknown offense against a black person in this world is like picking your teeth to other races, spitting on us. And we keep our faces forward to show the strength in black numbers. And all through history, it has been chopped down. Wonderful black men, known and unknown, put their lives on the line for their own kind because no one else, because no one else would help. The ones that function as though they are going to help would keep it hidden from the other white people so their life would not be in jeopardy. Can anyone ever tell me how was the black man sought out to be used for white people's purposes? Never to this day were they paid and are still fighting for our reparations. But every country that we have done something to are still being paid to this day. In this country, by having a business set up to prosper, given decent homes, given money to have that dream come to life. Why were we chosen by the world to treat black people this way? A dog can be left in a wheel to be taken care of, but a black man whose 4-time grandfather made the White House cannot get a good paying job? Here's another question. Would any of you like to trade for the exact same treatment? How would you like living every day of your life feeling like you're on display? Like you were born in a thick glass case. Like a circus act ready to amuse the people. Every place you go, making you feel like you don't belong. In the world, let alone their presence. Leaving us to die literally in the street. This world has been awful to us. And you know the real sad part? Black people never had the power. I'm going to say that again. Black people never had the power. Just like a rape. When did black people ever have any power? Do black people have power today? They were forced to change their lives, meaning having black people as their little doggies, their pet, their property. Donald Trump, a racist, only brought out the most of white America. He only brought out what most of white America still feels to this day, and that is to make black people slaves again. Go back to the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 1700 centuries. Please do not act as though London, England didn't have black people for centuries. I'm going to say that again so we can get it corrected. Please do not act as though London, England didn't have black people for centuries. To me, they go back the furthest. Because the white people that came here, leaving their own masters, brought slaves here. Hence the word America is Britain's cousin. Yes. Keep black people from having keeping black people from having proper education, forcibly making sure our ancestors looked the part of a poor, uneducated person. This is still happening as well. Why didn't this universe help black people? Why didn't you? Why didn't you help us? Why aren't you helping us now? We are still to this day denounced as human beings that gave this world the right. What gave this world the right to put worldwide bullseyes on each of our individual black backs, even before we were born? That is our inheritance, and it was not from God. It was from the hate and the evil of man. Why did you ever need someone to push around? Why did you have become the bullies? Why did you have to become the bully of black people's lives? As the old saying goes, who died and left you our bosses? Why haven't you set us free? Because you haven't yet. In my own opinion, Abraham Lincoln was killed for nothing because he was not trying to set black people free. Why would you let go of something yourself owning okay, let me go back over that, please. Forgive me. In my own opinion, Abraham Lincoln was killed for nothing because he was not trying to set black people free. Why would you let go of something you yourself own? Owning a person was and is the devil's work. You have taken the very laws that you've changed to fit the style of keeping a black man in jail, if possible, for the rest of his life. You would take them from birth right now if you could, and you still are trying. There are so many quotes I grew up with thanks to my mama. And this is one I'll use to this day. When you are busy digging a hole to hope someone falls in, you're not even realizing you digging the hole around yourself. And that's exactly what this country has done, dug a hole around itself. The hate did not have nowhere else to go except round and around, destroying the world that was built from love, God's love. Now, because of this selfish act, that could have been prevented by you and other countries. This world is coming apart and no one seems to believe it would. We are supposed to be responsible for one another. For everyone all around us made sure every corner of the globe hated the different skinned person. Every race on this planet has a story of hurt and pain of their country, of their lives, and are now being recognized and assisted in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But to this day, the African persuasion on this plateau is ignored, blemished. Stories full of lies of our lives and lifestyle, having changed on us from birth to death, even if we cannot see them. This is the fault of everyone that could have truly done something and did not, especially the United States of America. You took our lives and tried to make it yours for over 600 plus years. Have you ever asked yourselves why? That was never God's plan. That was never God's plan. It was yours. I'm going to say that again, please. That was never God's plan. It was yours. And it could have stopped at any time, but no. And you never once thought that words are alive and connected. Other words make change in the world and disorder. To have black people looked down upon all because we're different is our differences is an abomination that this entire world participated in. Here is another quote my mama left in me. There's nothing worse than an angry God. Here is one more question, and then I'm done. Do you think this world, with all its faults, flaws, abominable cruelties, and black people have the scars to prove it? Do you think this world will ever get better? Ever? This world made sure black men would not be able to take care of their children, and the mother not to be at home. This world destroyed their way of life to accompany other lives. This entire world is a concentration camp for black people. This is why I know in my soul and body that we are the chosen children of God, because he was wrongly accused and killed by a government. There has been many countries that involve slavery, countries using their own kind. But where in this world were one race of people used, stolen, brought away from their own country, and be placed at work for free by total strangers? Have any of you ever thought to help? Where were we sought out to be? Why were we sought out to be the casualties of this world? What have we ever really done that was not a lie? What have we ever really done that was not a lie? This universe made sure everyone, everywhere we are, it is a ghetto. I'm going to say that again. This universe made sure everywhere we are, it is a ghetto. Call me what you will, but I can assure you that this world will never heal until black people all over the world are taken care of, given our fair, God-given rights to live, to prosper, to be treated like a human being. These rights are better than inalienable rights. Until Africans and African Americans are treated in the way we are naturally supposed to be treated, this world has not seen the worst of God's wrath. For the Bible says, God chastises those he loves. You do not have to love him. You can always renounce him. but he is king. This is his world. Praise God in the highest. Because of this hate, we will all be casualties. Black Sugar Writer to the World Health Organization and all over this world.